21st century learners. How are you? Today is a new day to learn more and discover the world of literature. I am Teacher Mary, your facilitator in 21st century literature from the Philippines and the world. Together, we explore the world of producing creative representations of literary texts. Join me then as we continue to gain new experiences while learning. Before we start, get ready with your ballpen, answer sheet, and your snack. Be energized and stay put until the end of our lesson. Stay in a comfortable place, sit back, and listen. Are you ready? Come on, let's get going. Our topic is not new to you, since you have also learned this before. I hope that you can still recall them. If not, it's okay, since we will be refreshing your memory about them. Let me start by asking you these questions. How do you interpret literary text? What methods and tools do you use in trying to understand the content, author, characters, and message of a text? Have you used your mobile phone, laptop, or computer in understanding and appreciating literary pieces? Ponder on these questions and we'll go back to it later. In your past lessons, you have done contextual analysis and interpretations of literary pieces, but not in using multimedia platforms. This time, you will be learning that interpreting literary texts could be done through the use of varied multimedia formats aside from understanding the context of a literary piece. Before we continue, here are our learning objectives. Number 1, identify the multimedia format used in the given examples. 2, apply multimedia skills in transforming a literary text to another medium. And third, develop an appreciation of literature by creating your own story using one of the multimedia formats discussed.
Let us test your prior knowledge about our topic. For part 1, read each sentence carefully. Then choose the letter of the best answer. Write your answers on your answer sheet. Number 1. These are characters used to create words, sentences, and paragraphs. A. Animations. B. Audios. C. Graphics. D. Text. 2. These are digital representations of non-text information such as drawings, charts, or photographs. A. Animations. B. Audios. C. Graphics. D. Text. 3. It involves the appearance of motion caused by displaying still images one after another. A. Animation. B. Audio. C. Graphics. D. Text. 4. It contains photographic images that are played back at speeds of 15 to 30 frames a second and then provide the appearance of full motion. A. Animation. B. Audio. C. Text. D. Video. Number 5. This refers to music, speech, or any other sound that can be used by itself or integrated with other media format. A. Animation. B. Audio. C. Text. D. Video. For part 2, read each statement carefully, then write C if the statement is correct, and F if otherwise. Number 1. Multimedia refers to a computer-controlled integration of text, graphics, drawings, still and moving images or video, animation, audio, and any other media where every type of information can be represented, stored, transmitted, and processed digitally. ICT skills refer to one's ability to communicate effectively using oral communication skills. 3. Blogs and vlogs are one and the same. They both refer to the posting of videos on social networking sites. 4. Textula uses mobile phones to write and send poems to readers. 5. Hyperpoetry consists of words, although not necessarily organized into lines and stanzas, as well as sounds, visual images, movement, or other special effects. 6. Doodle fiction is written for and read from a computer and can be web or app-based for tablets and smartphones or accessed via CD-ROMs. 7. Digifictions are drawings and handwritten graphics instead of a traditional font used in printing books. 8. A manga is an animated cartoon of Japanese origin that is usually viewed on television. 9. A mind map shows the connection or association of words using lines, images, symbols, or links in a particular topic. 10. A tag cloud is a logical arrangement of keywords within a textual content that visually describes the subject of a website, blog, or any other text. Let's check your answers. Answers for part 1 are the following. 1. The text. 2. C. Graphics. 3. A. Animation. 4. E. Video. 5. B. Audio. The answers for part 2 are the following. 1. T. 2. F. 3. F. 4. T. 5. T. 6. F. 7. F. 8. T. 9. T. 10. T.
How did it go? Did you answer all correctly? If you got a perfect score, that is great. If your score is below the passing grade, do not worry. The activity is meant to identify how much you can remember or know about producing creative representations of literary text, which is our topic today.
For this activity, I'm going to show you pictures. Then you observe what is common in them. You have 5 seconds to look at each picture. Hello again, learners! Did you find out what is common in those pictures? If you say that they are all movie adaptations of a book, then you are correct. In the third quarter, you learned that one of the ways to creatively present a literary text is through multimedia, the most common of which are films or movies. That is why we are familiar with this medium. For you to be more familiarized with your topic, you take a look at these images, then answer the questions that follow. A. What are the images all about? B. What do the images convey? Do you know what are those images? Congratulate yourself if you were able to answer the questions. The shown images, as some of you may be familiar with, is called a mind map. It is a graphical way to represent a certain idea or concept. It is one of the various ways by which information and ideas may be represented symbolically. In order to produce a creative representation of a literary text, we have to learn and be familiarized with the basic types of multimedia formats and the literary genres which are popular this 21st century. Before we go further, let us first define the term multimedia, so that we can have a common understanding about this term. Multimedia, as defined by Marshall 2001, is a computer-controlled integration of text, graphics, drawings, still and moving objects, or video, animation, audio, and any other media where every type of information can be represented, stored, transmitted, and processed digitally. Multimedia, from the word itself, means the use of more than one medium in communication, such as audio, text, video, still images, and animation that are combined together to form a creative and interactive content. There are 5 basic types of multimedia through which literary works can be explored and experienced. Let us start with text. Texts are characters used to create words, sentences, and paragraphs. Text is an important component in multimedia applications. It is usually combined with photographs and video presentations to augment these other forms of communication and give a detailed description of them. Yet, text is good at providing basic information. It is the simplest and often the most effective way to get one's message across. Two, graphics. Graphics are digital representations of non-text information, such as drawings, charts, or photographs. The images that you can see here below are examples of graphics. Graphics make the multimedia application attractive. Therefore, graphics are used more often than text to explain a concept or present background information. Next, we have animation. Animation involves the appearance of motion caused by displaying still images one after another. The images that you can see here below are examples of animation. Animation is the process of designing, drawing, making layouts, and preparation of photographic sequences which are integrated in the multimedia. One of the most frequent types of animation seen on the web today are GIFs, otherwise known as graphic image files. These are simple collection of images that rapidly change, giving the illusion of motion. Next, we have video. The contents of a video are photographic images that are played back at speeds of 15 to 30 frames a second and provide the appearance of full motion. We have here an example of a video. The term video refers to the moving picture, accompanied by sound such as a picture in television. Video element of multimedia application gives a lot of information in small duration of time. Digital video is useful in multimedia application for showing real-life objects. Number 5, audio. Audio refers to music, speech, or any other sound that can be used by itself or integrated with other media format. In many multimedia systems, audio provides a crucial link between text and images. This is the audible part of a transmitted signal that is recording or the reproduction of acoustic signals. Examples of audio files or audio file types are MP3, MP4, WMA, and many more. Here is a list of common multimedia formats that are used in producing creative representations of literary pieces this 21st century. As you can see, the first column are the formats, second column are the file types, and the third column are the descriptions. So first, we have MPEG. The file type is .mpg or .mpeg. It is developed by the Moving Pictures Expert Group. It is the first popular video format on the web. Next, we have AVI. AVI, known as Audio Video Interleave. It is developed by Microsoft. It is commonly used in video cameras and TV hardware. It plays well on Windows computers but not in web browsers. Next, WMA. File type is .wma. It is known as Windows Media Audio. It is developed by Microsoft. Next is MP3. MP3 files are actually the sound part of MPEG files. MP3 is the most popular format for music players. It combines good compression for small files with high quality, and this is supported by all browsers. Lastly, we have MP4. File type is .mp4. MP4 is a video format but can also be used for audio, and this is also supported by all browsers. Let us now proceed to the literary genres and formats. Here are some of the multimedia formats that we can use to creatively interpret various genres of literary text. We have blog, vlog, textula, digifiction, hyperpoetry, doodle fiction, flash fiction, manga, mind map, and tag cloud. First, we have blog or weblog. This is a regularly updated website or web page. It is typically run by an individual or a small group. And this is also written in an informal or conversational style. This is a website containing short articles called posts that are updated regularly by the same person or by people interested in the same topic. This is also a website on which someone writes about personal opinions, activities, interests, and experiences, while others are written by many different people. Students like you can explore ideas that you really enjoy, like fashion, art, or any topic from your subjects. By showing your thoughts, you are also learning how to express yourself to the world. Next, we have blog. This is similar to a blog, but instead of a written text, the author posts videos online. It is also a personal website or social media account where a person regularly posts short videos. As you can see here in our examples, one is recording a travel blog, while the other is perhaps endorsing a product. Next is textula, or mobile phone textula. This is a poem written and read on mobile phones. As you can see here in our two examples, these are created and sent as a text message. The term is derived, or textula is derived from texting, or sending a written message from a mobile phone, and tula, a Filipino term for poem, meaning it is a text poem or a poem written in the form of a text message. Fourth, we have digifiction. Digifiction is written for and read from a computer and can be web or app-based for tablets and smartphones, or accessed via CD-ROMs. Rather than existing as a digital version of a print novel, digital fictions are what are known as born digital. That is, they would lose something of their aesthetic or structural form and meaning if they were removed from the digital medium. It embraces three media. We have books, movie or video, and internet website. In order to get the full story, students must engage in the navigation of technology. Next is hyperpoetry. This is also known as hypertext poetry or cyberpoetry. It consists of words, although not necessarily organized into lines and stanzas, as well as sounds, visual images, movement, or other special effects. In other words, these are poetry that uses links using hypertext markup. It is usually found online through CD-ROM and diskette versions. The earliest examples date to no later than the mid-1960s. Next, we have doodle fiction. Doodle fiction are books printed as if it is handwritten, as you can see here in our examples. The author integrates doodle drawings and handwritten graphics instead of a traditional font, meaning these are hand-scribed fonts and images. The drawing enhances the story, often adding humorous elements that would be missing if the illustrations were omitted. Next, we have manga. The term originated from Japan to mean comics, but is now considered a generic term for Japanese-style comic books and graphic novels that is read from right to left. It is used in the English-speaking world as a generic term for all comic books and graphic novels originally published in Japan. It is also considered as an artistic and storytelling style. Next, mind map. A mind map is a diagram for representing tasks, words, concepts, and items linked to and arranged around a central concept or subject using a non-linear graphical layout that allows the user to build an intuitive framework around the central concept. In other words, this is a graphical technique to visualize pieces of information to better analyze, synthesize, recall, and generate new ideas. So it is a way of linking key concepts using images, lines, and links, as shown in these two examples. So when you do mind mapping, it is showing the connection or association of words in a particular topic. Next is tag cloud. A tag cloud is a logical arrangement of keywords within a textual content that visually describes the subject of a website, blog, or any other text. Tags representing the most popular topics are highlighted using bold, larger fonts, or increased color saturation to make it easy to see the most popular tags on the page. In other words, this is a visual depiction of user-generated tags attached to online content, typically using color and font size to represent the prominence or frequency of the tags depicted. Lastly, we have flash fiction. Flash fiction is a style of fictional literature of extreme brevity, but there is no widely accepted definition of the length and the category. It could range from a word to 1,000. And other names for flash fiction include sudden fiction, microfiction, microstory, short, postcard fiction, and short story. One type of flash fiction is the short story with an exact word count. Example is a story with 55 words. And we have here also other examples like the 6-word story. Here, judge me, I'll prove you wrong. As you can see, these are fictional work of extreme brevity, but still offers character and plot development. Let us now enumerate again the literary genres and formats. Okay, so first we have blog, second vlog, third textula, fourth digifiction, fifth hyperpoetry, sixth doodle fiction, seventh flash fiction, 8 manga, 9 mind map, and the 10th tag cloud. There are many other forms which are not listed because multimedia is constantly evolving. Some of these are speculative fiction, photo essay, music video, and many more. You may search about them on your own and add this to your knowledge. All the examples we just discussed provide a tool for easing entry into a literary text. Multimedia formats can help you to creatively interpret various genres of literary text. Now that you know the different multimedia formats and literary genres, it is time for you to identify the multimedia format used in the following examples. Are you familiar with this one? This one? And this one? How about this? And this? Hello! Let's check your answers. Put a check mark for each item if you got it right. Here are the answers. 1. Tag cloud. 2. Doodle fiction. 3. Blog. 4. Manga. And the 5th, vlog. Did you get a perfect score? Awesome! After doing activity 1, let's now proceed to activity 2. Here are the instructions. First, you read the following example of flash fiction. Then answer the questions that follow. Write your answers on your answer sheet. Tristan Cafe. I'm letting you go, she said with a thought of making him the happiest. Yes, she loves him. Yes, her world crumbled. Yes, it broke her. Yes, she read the post. I love her, but I don't want her anymore. He paused, not ready for a knock on his door. And on, I'm letting you go. Yes, he loves her. Yes, he's confused. Yes, it broke him. Yes, he didn't think she'll find it. After reading, you are now tasked to interpret the poem Tristan Cafe, an example of a literary genre which is flash fiction. Use the following questions as your guide. First, what qualifies the poem Tristan Cafe as flash fiction? Second, what is the story about? Retell the events briefly in paragraph form. Lastly, what any other multimedia or literary genre can you suggest in presenting the story? Explain or justify your choice. Remember to write your answers in your answer sheet. Once you're done with activity 2, you may now proceed to this activity. Summarizing what you have learned from our lesson by completing the statements. This is called the stop activity. Now, complete the following statements and be guided with these questions. How did we start the lesson? What was our topic? What were your own learning opportunities? Or what have you learned from our lesson? What do you think is the purpose of the lesson? Is it important to you as learners? I will know if you have learned something from our lesson today. At this point, you are now ready to produce your own representation using your ICT skills. This activity might seem tough, but it's not difficult as it seems. You can do it. Let us read first the poem entitled In the Midst of Hardship by Latif Mohideen. Before you proceed to your task, let us read first the short biography of Latif Mohideen. You know, it is important to read the biography of an author because this would help you in giving meaning to the text. It also gives you insight into the real-life experiences of the author. Biography of Latif Mohideen. Abdul Latif Mohideen, or simply Latif Mohideen, belonged to a generation of poets rising in the 1970s. Having obtained a formal education in fine art in Germany, he returned from Europe imbued with the poetics of Rimbaud, Rilke, Baudelaire, and Verlaine. He traveled the Southeast region at the height of the Vietnam War and produced a series of paintings, Pago Pago, and a collection of poems, Sungay Mekong, or Mekong River, that came to serve as hallmarks in the development of abstraction in Malaysian art and introduced a radical voice in Malay poetics. Let us now read the poem In the Midst of Hardship by Latif Mohideen. At dawn they returned home, their soaking clothes torn, and approached the stove, their limbs marked by scratches, their legs full of wounds, but on their brows there was not a sign of despair. There was not a sign of despair. The whole day and night just passed. They had to brave the horrendous flood in the water all the time, between bloated carcasses and the chips of tree barks, desperately looking for their son's albino buffalo that was never found. They were born out of hardship and grew up without a sigh or complaint. Now they are in the kitchen, making jokes while rolling their cigarette leaves. Alright, were you able to relate to the story? Now, let's do this activity. You're going to think of a past experience which is similar or closely related to what happened in the poem. How did you cope with the dilemma? What lessons can you learn from your experience? Create your own story and transform it using one of the multimedia formats that we have discussed. Use this rubric as your guide. There are 4 categories. 1 is the choice of multimedia. 2nd, the content. 3rd, creativity. And 4th, originality. As to the scores, 4 would be excellent, 3 very good, 2 good, and 1 poor. I hope by now you already have an idea of what you're going to do. Again, choose from the following multimedia formats: blog, mind mapping, mobile textula, manga, tag cloud, or video. Please be guided accordingly. Congratulations, learners! you reach the final part of the lesson. For this activity, you read each statement carefully, then write T if the statement is correct and F if otherwise. Texts are characters used to create words, sentences, and paragraphs. Two, graphics is a digital representation of non-text information such as a drawing, chart, or photograph. 3. Blog is a regularly updated website or web page typically run by an individual or small group. Number 4, Textula uses mobile phones to write and send poems to readers. Number 5, hyperpoetry consists of words, although not necessarily organized into lines and stanzas, as well as sounds, visual images, movement, or other special effects. Number 6, a tag cloud is a logical arrangement of keywords within a textual content that visually describes the subject of a website, blog, or any other text. Seven, blogs and vlogs are one and the same. They both refer to the posting of videos on social networking sites. 8. Doodle fiction is written for and read from a computer and can be web or app-based for tablets and smartphones or accessed via CD-ROMs. Number 9. Digifiction are drawings and handwritten graphics instead of a traditional font used in printing books. 10. A manga is an animated cartoon of Japanese origin that is usually viewed on television. For part 2 of the post-assessment, here are the directions. First, read each sentence carefully. 2. Choose the letter of the best answer. And 3. Write your answers on your answer sheet. Number 1. These are characters used to create words, sentences, and paragraphs. A. Animation. B. Audio. C. Graphics. D. Text. Number 2. This is a digital representation of non-text information such as a drawing, chart, or photograph. A. Animation. B. Audio. C. Graphics. D. Text. Number 3, it involves the appearance of motion caused by displaying still images one after another. A. Animation. B. Audio. C. Graphics. D. Text. 4. It contains photographic images that are played back at speeds of 15 to 30 frames a second and then provide the appearance of full motion. A. Animation. B. Audio. C. Text. D. Video. Five. This refers to music, speech, or any other sound that can be used by itself or integrated with other media format. A. Animation. B. Audio. C. Text. D. Video. Let's check your answers. Answers for part 1 are the following: 1 T, 2 T, 3 T, 4 T, 5 T, 6 F, 7 F, 8 F, 9 F, and 10 T. The answers for part 2 are the following: 1. The text. 2. C. Graphics. 3. A. Animation. 4. E. Video. 5. B. Audio. Did you get it all correctly? If yes, congratulations!
Hello again, learners! How are you now? Do you find studying literature more exciting with the use of your cell phone, laptop, or computer? Evidently, students like you realize the great impact of using multimedia, not just in studying literature, but also in other subjects as well. It provides opportunities for you to construct or reconstruct ideas through audio and visual formats. Through these multimedia formats like blogs, manga, flash fiction, text-to-la, and others, you can apply a wide range of strategies to understand, interpret, and evaluate literary text. That's all for today. Thank you for listening and doing your task. See you in our next lesson. Goodbye!